Love the Ravens as much as we do? Then smash that subscribe button and stay locked in with Flock News for all the drama, updates, and excitement all season long. The rumor swirling around the league today is nothing short of explosive, sending shockwaves through every analyst's mind and leaving fans scrambling to piece together what this could mean for the upcoming season. Baltimore Ravens, a team already notorious for its aggressive defensive schemes and high-octane strategy, is reportedly in deep negotiations to bring Chase Young, the defensive powerhouse, into their fold. Imagine a front line that can terrorize quarterbacks and disrupt defensive rhythm almost at will. A nightmare scenario for any opposing team. Chase Young's blend of size, speed, and pure athletic aggression has always been the kind of talent that transforms defenses overnight. And if Baltimore pulls this off, the strategic implications are enormous. Speculation suggests that this move is about more than just adding another star. It's about redefining the Ravens' identity, turning their pass rush into something almost unthinkably dominant, and potentially forcing the league's most prolific offenses to completely rethink their playbooks. Sources hint that internal discussions in Baltimore's war room have been heated, with coaches envisioning how Young can line up, rotate, and completely throw off timing schemes in ways that make other defenses look almost static. Fans are already buzzing, imagining games where opposing quarterbacks barely have time to breathe before facing one of the most physically imposing defenders in the league. A scenario that could fundamentally tilt the balance of power in the AFC. Beyond the immediate shock, the ripple effects of a potential Chase Young signing stretch far deeper than just one defensive unit. Analysts are speculating that offenses across the league will now need to reconsider how they approach the Ravens entirely, particularly because Young is a player who thrives in chaos and thrives even more when paired with an already unpredictable defensive coordinator. Baltimore's defensive schemes have always been aggressive, but adding someone of Young's caliber could make even the most complex blocking assignments feel inadequate, forcing offensive lines into near-impossible split-second decisions. Rumors suggest that the Ravens are envisioning a hybrid system that maximizes Young's versatility, potentially letting him slip past tackles, corners, and even tight ends, creating pressure points across the field that few quarterbacks are prepared to handle. Imagine a scenario where a single player becomes the pivot around which entire offensive strategies must shift, where every snap could become a guessing game, and where chaos becomes the team's primary weapon. Speculators are even suggesting that Young's presence could indirectly elevate the play of his teammates, creating opportunities for sacks, forced errors, and game-altering turnovers that ripple across every matchup. There's a growing sense among insiders that this isn't just a signing. It's the kind of strategic gambit that could define Baltimore's defensive philosophy for years to come. What makes this rumor so intoxicating is the timing and the optics surrounding it. Baltimore is reportedly not just chasing talent, they're chasing a statement. A declaration that they intend to dominate the psychological and tactical game. Long before the first whistle, Chase Young has always been a player whose presence alone demands attention. A figure who draws double teams, changes offensive schemes, and forces coaches into uncomfortable choices. Sources are hinting that the Ravens front office sees this as a dual-edged opportunity. On one hand, bolstering the pass rush with elite talent, and on the other, sending a clear signal to the rest of the league that their ambition cannot be ignored. Rumors suggest that other teams are watching with equal parts excitement and fear, trying to anticipate how this might shift draft strategies, free agent priorities, and even the kinds of plays opponents dare to call. The speculation around contract structure, potential incentives, and cap maneuvering is equally intense, with insiders suggesting that the Ravens are willing to stretch creative limits to make this deal work without compromising the broader vision of the team. If this rumor is true, Baltimore might be engineering one of the most disruptive defensive alignments the league has seen in decades. A scenario that could redefine what it means to play against them, even without official confirmation. The sheer possibility of Chase Young suiting up in purple and black has ignited fan debates across forums, social media, and sports bars nationwide. Everyone seems to have a theory about how the team will deploy him, with some imagining constant rotational pressure on quarterbacks, and others envisioning a situational role where Young becomes a nightmare in third and long scenarios. Rumor mongers are even speculating that his presence could influence play calling from opponents to the point that the Ravens' offense might benefit indirectly, as defenses overcompensate to neutralize Young's impact. Analysts are pointing out that the Psychological warfare alone, knowing that one of the most disruptive players in the league is waiting to ambush, could create hesitation in the pocket. Mistakes in timing routes, and even turnovers that feel almost preordained. Sources close to the team hint that coaching staff are planning intensive film sessions, simulating multiple offensive schemes against Young to refine positioning, stunts, and blitzes. An approach that might make the Ravens' defense feel like a machine designed to adapt in real time. Fans are already drafting scenarios where quarterbacks are running for their lives. Offensive linemen are in constant panic, and every offensive snap carries the threat of catastrophic failure, which, if true, could create highlight reels for weeks. Meanwhile, whispers suggest that other elite players in the league are watching Baltimore closely, speculating that a Young signing could trigger a domino effect in free agency. Could this push rival teams to pursue big-name pass rushers? Will it force offensive-minded teams to draft for protection rather than skill positions? The potential ramifications are enormous, and insiders are buzzing about how this rumor alone could shift league-wide priorities in a way that no single signing has in recent memory. Beyond strategy, the optics of landing a talent like Young send a signal about Baltimore's culture, ambition, and willingness to embrace chaos as a tool of domination. Speculation suggests that locker room dynamics might even shift positively, with younger defensive players gaining confidence and inspiration from sharing the field. With one of the most physically imposing players in the sport, observers are painting a picture of a team that not only gains a star but reshapes its identity, turning defensive intensity into a brand that resonates far beyond the confines of the stadium. Every source consulted hints at the same conclusion. If this rumor is accurate, the Ravens might be positioning themselves to become the team that everyone else fears before the game even starts. Finally, the intensity of this speculation is magnified by the question of timing and negotiation secrecy. Rumors indicate that front offices and agents are operating in stealth mode, with meetings held behind closed doors and contract discussions shrouded in confidentiality. Fans and media alike are left piecing together clues from social media activity, training footage, and historical patterns of player movement, creating a kind of narrative fever. Analysts speculate that this careful approach is intentional, designed to maximize leverage, create buzz, and even psychologically pressure opposing teams who may have had their sights set on Young. Some insiders suggest that Baltimore is using the rumor mill itself as a strategic weapon, letting the league digest the mere possibility of the signing, while the team quietly positions itself to execute. The potential impact is as much psychological as tactical. A team that can manipulate both on-field and off-field perception is a team that can seize advantage before the first snap. If the rumor holds, the ripple effect across offensive playbooks, draft strategies, fan expectations, and league culture could be profound, setting the stage for what might be one of the most disruptive seasons in recent memory. The potential signing of Chase Young by the Baltimore Ravens has led to an unprecedented wave of speculation about how offensive coordinators across the league will have to completely rethink their approach when facing this defense. Rumors suggest that playbooks are being rewritten in real time, with coaches scrambling to design protections, adjustments, and quick-release strategies to counteract the raw, disruptive power that Young brings. Sources close to several teams hint that quarterbacks are being instructed to practice under extreme duress, simulating relentless pressure, stunts, and unpredictable blitzes in preparation for what could become the defining challenge of their season. Analysts are pointing out that Young's presence alone forces a reevaluation of downfield timing, route spacing, and even snap counts, creating an environment where offensive rhythm may be impossible to sustain. Fans and insiders alike are imagining games where entire drives unravel simply because one player is capable of commanding the field, dictating both physical and mental pressure on a level few defenders can achieve. There is a growing consensus among rumor circles that this isn't just a defensive upgrade, it's a tactical earthquake, one that could destabilize entire offenses before they even begin executing their intended plays. Beyond the immediate chaos on the field, speculation is building that Young's signing could influence the very culture of how offenses prepare. Insiders suggest that coaching staff are exploring new protective rotations, frequent max protect schemes, and creative misdirections that may have never been tested at the professional level. Rumor sources indicate that opposing quarterbacks might now be forced into taking higher risks, attempting passes under stress, and reacting instinctively rather than executing pre-planned strategies. Analysts have even suggested that the ripple effect could extend to player acquisitions, with teams potentially prioritizing offensive linemen capable of rapid adaptation and exceptional agility to survive against a pass rush of this magnitude. Fans are speculating about the psychological pressure as well. The mere knowledge that a player like Young could dominate any snap might lead to hesitations, misreads, or mental errors that could turn games upside down. The narrative emerging is one where chaos is no longer an abstract concept, but a tangible force, embodied in one of the league's most physically imposing defenders. If the rumors prove accurate, Baltimore may have unlocked a new paradigm in defensive dominance, one that forces opponents into a reactive, disoriented mindset from the very first play. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens. And hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. Another layer of speculation revolves around how Young's integration could affect the Ravens' existing defensive stars. Rumor sources hint at a potential synergistic effect, with teammates able to exploit the attention Young commands, turning ordinary defensive schemes into opportunistic game-changing scenarios. Analysts are speculating that pressures and stunts designed around Young could generate turnovers, sack opportunities, and forced errors at rates previously unseen, creating a cascading impact that affects every matchup. Fans are imagining coordinated chaos, where Young draws double teams while linebackers and secondary players capitalize on disrupted timing and misaligned protections. Insiders also suggest that training camps are intensifying with simulations designed to maximize Young's versatility, incorporating cross-positional assignments and hybrid roles that keep offensive coordinators guessing. The speculation continues that this kind of disruption might even force rival teams to redesign their core offensive philosophies mid-season, a rare and dramatic consequence that would speak volumes about Young's potential impact. If true, the Ravens may not simply be enhancing their defense, they may be constructing an ecosystem of chaos, one where every opponent must battle both strategy and sheer physical dominance to survive each snap. Rumors have also begun to focus on the league-wide implications of this potential signing. Analysts suggest that a high-profile move like this could trigger a domino effect, inspiring other franchises to aggressively pursue elite pass rushers or rethink how they construct their offensive lines. Some sources hint that free agents and younger players are observing closely, seeing the strategic gamble Baltimore might be taking as a blueprint for elevating their own careers. Fans are speculating about how the perception of the Ravens could shift, with opponents entering matchups already mentally on edge, anticipating relentless pressure and unpredictable disruptions. The rumor mill indicates that even defensive coordinators in other cities are theorizing on counter strategies, while offensive coaches are scrambling to train players for worst-case scenarios against someone with Young's speed, strength, and instinctual ability to read plays. The chatter surrounding the potential signing suggests that Baltimore could be cultivating not just a superior defense, but an aura of inevitability, where the very concept of offensive control is under siege before the ball is snapped. The implications for league-wide tactical planning could be enormous if the rumors hold true. Speculation has intensified regarding the psychological warfare that Young could unleash simply through his presence. Sources close to the Ravens suggest that even when on the sidelines, his reputation and demeanor may disrupt defensive confidence, creating an invisible pressure that impacts decision-making, timing, and overall game flow. Analysts speculate that quarterbacks may be forced into rushed throws, hurried reads, or even hesitation, as the mere knowledge of facing Young can induce errors before any physical contact occurs. Fans are envisioning scenarios where entire drives falter due to anticipatory stress, with offensive coordinators left reacting instead of executing their intended strategy. Rumor sources hint that coaches are exploring ways to maximize these psychological effects, integrating Young into not only defensive schemes, but also into game day atmospheres that amplify tension and unpredictability. If this speculation proves accurate, the Ravens might be achieving what few teams ever do, transforming talent into a psychological weapon that shapes games even before plays are run. A strategy that could redefine the league's approach to defensive dominance. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.